Hi, I'm Moog, you're YouTube, and this is Vaudeville. This is a game where all the NPCs are powered by ChatGPT. This means that I get to speak to the game, and it can speak back to me. You're playing as Detective Martini, who has to solve 3 separate murders. The game doesn't really make itself easy. So come with me as we explore this absolute train wreck of a murder case. Here's Wallace.
The victims were as different as chalk and cheese, symbol of the city's vibrant veneer. A young dancer who moved like poet life,
Chalk
cut
and
short
cheese?
mid-pirouette.
Chalk
A woman
and
who knew the
cheese.
city's pulse better than anyone else.
So, I have a notebook. Go to the police station and ask Detective Martini about the murders. Right mouse button to look around. Oh, wow. There's multiple people here.
Well, you know what they say.
What do you
There's
have
a 3
for me?
heads,
Oh.
right?
Hello, Chief Gretzky. It's wonderful to meet you. I've just arrived. Can you brief me on the case?
Well, that's a nice thing to say. But let's not waste any time. Detective, I see you're new here. Let me give you a quick rundown of the situation. We've had 3 brutal murders in Vaudeville in the past few weeks with no clear motive or suspect. It's been a real headache for me and my team.
Wonderful. Am I to assume there is a coroner's report I could go over for more details?
Yes, there's a detailed autopsy report available from the morgue. If you think it could help shed some light on the case, feel free to check it out. But keep in mind, I'm confident in my team's ability to solve this case, so don't go thinking you'll find anything we missed. Did you find something interesting in the abduction reports, Detective?
May I see the abduction reports, please?
Sure, Detective. But I'm curious. Do you think you'll find something that my team and I missed in the report? We've been working on this for weeks, so I'm interested to see if a fresh pair of eyes can spot something new.
I would love to see if I could find something new, if only I had the opportunity to look at this evidence.
That's strange, because just a moment ago you said you had the report. Are you trying to play games with me, Detective? If you really want to see the report, just ask my team and I'll provide it for you.
Hello, Constable Jones. It's wonderful to meet you.
Hello, glad to meet you too, Detective. I hope I can be of some help.
The chief told me that you could give me some reports regarding the case that could be relevant towards me gaining some insight.
Oh, yes, I could try to find those reports for you. I mean, where there's smoke, there's fire, right? But, I'm not sure where they are exactly. I'll have to look around and see if I can find them. I'll go look for them now.
Yes, please do.
I'm sorry, I'm not sure if I can be of much use. I don't want to put all my eggs in one basket, you know? And, as they say, it's always darkest before the dawn. But I'll do my very best to assist you in any way I can.
Constable Jones, could you refresh my memory on how these murders were perpetrated?
Yes, the murders, but from what little information we have, it seems like the killer was a real wolf in sheep's clothing. They must have been very sneaky and cunning, but, as they say, the truth will out.
He wants money to refresh his memory? Is that really what he's trying to say? Give $20.
Oh, well, thank you very much, Detective. That's so kind of you, but, you know, money can't buy happiness, right? And a penny saved is a penny earned. But anyway, let me see if I can remember. The first victim was found covered in blood outside her apartment in central Vaudeville. The second victim was a man known in the finance world, and his body was found in the morning outside Pascala's grocery shop. And the third victim was a dancer whose body was found in an alley behind the club she worked at.
Okay. And what were the murder weapons, Constable Jones?
Well, I'm not exactly sure about the murder weapons, but I think it might have been some sort of sharp object. I don't want to give you the wrong information or anything.
Some kind of weapon.
But if you give me a moment, maybe I can look it up for you.
Impatiently hand over another $20. Does this help your memory?
Well, I'm not sure if I'm the right person to ask, but, you know, it's always darkest before the dawn. Like they say, Rome wasn't built in a day, and every cloud has a silver lining. I hope that helps, but I'm sorry if it doesn't.
It doesn't. Do you have the coroner's report?
I'm not sure if I should be the one to give you the coroner's report. You can't make an omelet without breaking a few eggs, and I don't want to put all my eggs in one basket.
Okay. We're gonna say, wait for Constable Jones to find the coroner's report. And then give me 2 seconds because I need something to write on. All right. I want to scroll up real fast because he did give me some interesting information there. First victim, blood, apartment. Second victim, door, and club. Cool. Okay, we're gonna try this now. It kicked me out. I guess I really do have to wait. Still just says go to the police station? I guess I'll ask a few more questions. Hello, Chief Gretzky. It's wonderful to see you again.
Hello. What brings you to my office? Detective Martini? Do you have any updates on the case, or are you just here to chat?
I'm actually here to ask a few questions about the case, so that way I can be of more help. I was wondering if you could tell me the names of the victims.
Of course, detective. Are you not
believe I
aware of the
don't-
victims' names?
I'm not.
It's been all over the news lately.
I know.
Nonetheless, their names are Maria Jansen,
Okay.
Nicola Grossman, and Haley Greenwood.
All right, okay, this is being really silly. Let's see if I can't. Smack self lightly on forehead. Ah, yes. I remember now. My coffee is still kicking in. Could you also remind me what the murder weapons were? Let's see if I can get away with this. No! I cannot! The game said no! We're gonna go back again, baby! Hang on a second. Go to the police station and ask Detective Martini about the murders. Am I not Detective Martini? Hello, I am here to ask Detective Martini about the murders. Hello. Oh, I guess we're just gonna go to the morgue. Hey girl, hey.
I'm sorry. What's troubling you? I sense some tension in your muscle tone and your breathing is a bit shallow. Perhaps you're experiencing a mild panic attack or an anxiety episode.
Oh, girl, I have chronic anxiety, but that is beside the point because therapy is a wonderful thing and I will get through it. Anyway, I'm here to see the coroner's report about Maria Jansen, Nicola Grossman, and Haley Greenwood, as I am working on the case and have been sent here to do so.
Yeah, I see. Well, in my professional opinion, each of these cases has its own peculiarity. Maria Jansen's death was particularly brutal and appears to have been caused by an animal. Haley Greenwood's death was caused by blunt force trauma to the head, possibly by a stiletto shoe. Nicola Grossman was killed by a hit to the back of the neck with a butcher's knife.
I had to mute. So far, this woman has been the most useful person. Oh, why are these cases linked, or are they three different cases? The game implies immediately that they're three very separate cases, and I have to find three very separate murderers. Beautiful. So I'm gonna jump into the Haley Greenwood case first, because she's a dancer, and like I don't know, the blunt force trauma. I feel like I might be able to figure out like the angle of where it came from, right? I'm gonna ask about that real fast. Now you have to look at everyone's shoes. Okay, she's wearing flats. She's safe for now. I came back to ask a little bit more about the Haley Greenwood case, if you could.
Yes, of course. As I recall, Haley Greenwood's cause of death was blunt force trauma to the head. Judging by the fragments found on her body, it seems like the weapon was a stiletto shoe. It's always heartbreaking when someone is taken from this world too soon.
Yes, it is absolutely tragic. In order to find the killer, though, I was wondering if we could tell, based on the wound, whether or not the attacker was tall or short, depending on the angle of entry.
Well, detective, it's difficult to determine the height of the attacker based solely on the wound. However, we can tell that the attacker had a lot of strength behind the blow, as the bone in her skull was fractured. It's possible that the attacker was taller and had more leverage to deliver a powerful blow, but we can't say for certain. The wound itself doesn't provide us with enough information to make a definitive conclusion.
Based on the debris of the shoe left behind, can we tell maybe its origin of company or its color or any other definitive features?
It's hard to be sure, but the fragments of the shoe found on the body may give some clues about its origin. We can analyze the material and design of the shoe to see if it matches any known brands or styles. It's also worth noting that the fragments may have DNA evidence from the killer, which could be used to identify them.
May I have those fragments to take back to the police station?
I'm sorry, detective, but unfortunately I can't release the physical evidence to you at this time. We need to hold on to the fragment for further analysis.
No problem. Could you very quickly run a DNA test on those fragments to see if there is anything from the perpetrator of this crime?
Unfortunately, we have already extracted the DNA from the fragments, but we haven't found any matches in the database so far. DNA testing can be a slow and tedious process, but we are working as fast as we can to identify any potential leads. There's also the possibility that the killer wore gloves or some other protective gear to avoid leaving DNA behind.
Was anything else found on the body of Haley Greenwood?
Yes. There were some other injuries on her body, including bruises and abrasions. It's possible that she struggled with her attacker before succumbing to the fatal blow to the head.
Has anyone checked for DNA evidence under her fingernails?
That's a good point, Detective. We did collect samples from under her fingernails during the autopsy. There were some skin cells and other debris, but we haven't been able to identify any DNA from the killer yet. We'll keep analyzing the samples and hope to find more information that can lead to the killer's identification.
Do you mind if we change topics to Nicola Grossman?
Certainly. Nicola Grossman's case was also quite tragic. He suffered a fatal wound to the back of the neck with a butcher's knife. The wound was quite deep and would have caused significant damage to the spinal cord and surrounding tissues.
Were there any other injuries on the body indicating any kind of struggle?
Yes. There was some bruising and abrasions on the body, which could indicate that there was a struggle before the victim was killed.
I have to ask about Maria Jansen. Do we have any idea as to what kind of animal or how large or small it may have been that attacked her?
Maria Jansen's case was certainly a difficult one to analyze. From the injuries, it appears that she was attacked by an animal, but it's hard to say exactly what kind. The bite marks were quite deep and showed a lot of force, which could suggest a larger predator. However, the size and shape of the bite marks are inconsistent with those of any known local animals.
Are we talking hyena size, or are we talking like lion, big cat size?
The wounds were definitely consistent with a large predatory mammal, but the exact species is still unknown. The strength of the bites and the fact that one of the forearm bones was fractured by the strength of the bites suggests that it was a powerful and aggressive attacker.
Ma'am, I have to ask, do you have any idea what phase the moon was in during this murder?
That's an interesting question, and not one that we typically consider during investigations. However, there is some evidence to suggest that certain animals, particularly those that are nocturnal, may be more active during certain phases of the moon. This could potentially impact their behavior and increase the likelihood of an attack.
Yes. See, I was just curious. I am going to go. Before I do go, though, I did want to say thank you. It has been lovely speaking with you. You are a pleasant human being.
Thank you for your kind words, Detective.
I'm gonna make friends,
It's
damn
a
it!
privilege.
Give her a
As
friendly
you leave,
handshake
you
before
notice a
leaving.
small smile on my face.
Lovely.
It was
I've made a
pleasure
friend.
speaking.
I kind of want to ask a couple questions at the police station again, because now I have more information, and I want to ask about the people around these dead people. Like, who's important, who's sketchy, who's what. We just keep going back and forth, but we'll get places eventually. Hello, Constable Jones. Have you found those reports yet?
Well, you know what they say, Detective. Rome wasn't built in a day. You're not a bit of a slowpoke, if you catch my drift. I'm
So-
doing my best, I promise.
So what you're saying is that you do the bare minimum in order to keep a paycheck rather than actually applying yourself at your job and feeling pride in your work. Is that it?
I understand how it may seem like that, but I assure you, I'm giving it my all. I'm still learning the rope, but I'm willing to put in the effort to be the very best I can be.
Then why did you tell me that you would have the coroner's reports and I had to go to the coroner's office to find out that they had the reports themselves and they were not in fact lost here in this police station as you had told me before, Constable Jones?
Oh, yes, that's correct. My apologies for any confusion. You know what they say, though, honesty is the best policy, and believe me, I'm nothing if not honest. But rest assured, I'll make sure to double check everything next time.
I'm not speaking to him anymore. I don't like him at all. Hello, Chief Gretzky. It is wonderful to see you again. I have some questions regarding the case.
Well. What do we have here? Detective Martini, some new leads. Perhaps I'm all ears.
Yes, well, a friend told me to ask you about the Maria Jansen case. They had some crazy theory that the moon's lunar cycle might have something to do with it. I'm here to ask what phase the moon was in, just in order to calm their little worries.
The moon's lunar cycle. That's quite the theory. I'm afraid I don't have that information at the top of my head. but I'm sure it's easily accessible in our records. Why don't you go check and come back to me with something more substantial?
Constable Jones, I have a question for you, and I expect an answer. I'm not speaking to him anymore. I don't like him at all.
Why, yes, of course. I'll do my very best to answer it for you.
What phase of the lunar cycle was the moon in the night of the Maria Jansen murder, Constable Jones?
Well, you know, Detective, the mood can be a fickle mistress. It's hard to keep track of her phases sometimes.
Constable Jones, this is a life or death situation. We need to know what the moon's lunar phase was on the night of Maria Jansen's murder. I need you to find this out for me. Stat!
Well, I'm not sure if I'm the right person for the job, but I'll certainly try my best. So, let me just take a look through the files and cross my fingers that we find what we're looking for.
Quickly, Jones, quickly! I'm speaking to Chief Gretzky, and by the time I'm done, I expect to know what phase of the lunar cycle the moon was on Maria Jansen's death.
Yeah, well, you know what they say, Detective. The early bird gets the worm, but the second mouse gets the cheese.
Constable Jones, you and I both know that nobody says the second mouse gets the cheese. Good day, sir! Find me that report instantly!
Oh dear, I hope I'm not causing any trouble.
Why am I being such a dick to this man? Hello, Chief Gretzky. I had some questions about the Nicola Grossman murder. I wanted to know if we know anyone related to the victim that could have been a prime suspect.
We haven't found any immediate family members or close associates of Nicola Grossman who could be considered as prime suspects yet.
I don't mean to arouse any suspicion, but I would like to say that Constable Jones is acting quite suspicious and is, I am afraid to admit, causing some friction within the team on this case.
Interesting. Can you provide me with some more context on why you believe Constable Jones is acting suspiciously?
Every
What kind of
time
friction has he caused within the team?
You see, myself and others have been having issues speaking with him as he is very jumpy, refers to his own work as being lazy, and yet making excuses as that is just how it is, and then giving us phrases that only halfway make sense, such as the second bird gets the cheese. I'm very concerned for his mental health and think he should be taken off of the case.
I see. Thank you for bringing this to my attention.
Yes, I'd like to ask about Haley Greenwood and if she had any close friends or relatives that may be able to shed some light on this case, or in fact that you may find suspicious yourself, sir, as you are so experienced, and it would behoove me to find wisdom from you. Hello, everybody! I think I broke it again. I'm breaking the AI in this murder mystery. Fancy meeting you here at the end of the video. If you're watching this the day it uploaded, I'm gonna be live, playing more of this game, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you're not watching it the day it uploaded, that's fine, because you can still follow that little link in the description. That'll take you to my Twitch channel, and you can watch me when I'm live again. It's 3 days a week, and you're bound to catch me eventually, so catch me there. I'll see you guys later. And in the meantime, here's Wallace.